Hello my dear students, welcome to our YouTube channel. So today in this video, we're going to solve the question paper, previous year question paper of Diploma CET. Before going to with the solutions for the question paper, if you are not subscribed to our channel, please click on the subscribe button and press the bell icon so that whenever we upload any new videos, so it will be notified to you. So let us begin with a question solution. And the next question is the process of increasing the length of a bar at the expense of width or thickness is called options drawing, trimming, sharing and punching. The right answer is option 1, that is drawing. And the next question is the operation of producing the circular holes in a sheet metal is, options are sharing, pressing, blanking and punching. And the right answer is option 4, that is punching. In MIG welding for a steel, dash gas is used. First one is carbon dioxide, second option carbon monoxide, third option both 1 and 2, and fourth option none of the above. And the right answer is carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide gas is used in the MIG welding for a steels. The next question is the process of giving impression of figures, letters or designs on a sheet metal part is called option drawing, second option embossing, third option blanking and fourth option sharing. And the right answer is embossing. The best example for embossing is our vehicle number plates. You can see that the numbers or letters are little bit taken or extracted outside the normal plate. So that is known as embossing. The next question is the unit of pressure is, first option Newton per mm square, second option bar, third option Pascal and fourth option is all the above. The right answer is option 4. All the units are right. Sometimes we define the pressure in terms of Newton per mm square. Some numericals or in some conditions we define the pressure in terms of bar and sometimes we define it in the Pascal. The next question is the HUCR stands for. So what is HUCR stands for? First one is highest useful compression ratio, higher useful cetane ratio, and third option highest useful carbon ratio, and fourth one is all the above. And the right answer is option 1, highest useful compression ratio. The H stands for highest, U for useful, C for compression, R for ratio. So it is a highest useful compression ratio. The next question is lubrication is done in IC engine to, first one to reduce wear and tear in the moving parts, second one damps down the vibrations of the engines, second one dissipate the heat generated from the moving parts due to the friction, and the fourth option is all the above. So lubrication is done to avoid all these problems in a IC engine. So your answer is option 4, all the above. The wear and tear will be reduced when we provide a lubrication that reduces the friction between the moving parts. Then even the dense oils, they take some vibrations in the engines and also they absorbs the heat generated in the engine. So all the three are correct. So the right answer is all the above. Next question is the indicated power of an IC engine is calculated by using a formula with the usual notation. So he has asked with the usual notation. The first option is 2 pi nt divided by 60. Second option W into D divided by 60. Fourth option PLAN divided by 60. And last option is WL divided by 60. The right answer is option 3. PLA into N divided by 60. P is a power, L is a length, then A is a cross-sectional area, and N is a RPM, and 60 is a constant unit. The next question is the principal constituent of fuel are, first one carbon and hydrogen, second one oxygen and hydrogen, third option sulfur and oxygen, and the fourth option sulfur and hydrogen. And the right answer is option 1, carbon and hydrogen. Okay, so these are the main component or main components of any fuel. The next one, the shaft with the collar in a circular hole is an example of completely constrained motion, incompletely constrained motion, successful constrained motion, and unconstrained motion. The right answer is option 1, that is completely constrained motion. The next question is, according to the law of solid friction, the frictional force depends on first option, normal load between the surface, second option, velocity of sliding, third option, the area of contact surface, and fourth option, all of the above. The right answer is option 1, that is load, the normal load between the surface. So according to the law of solid friction, the friction force depends on the normal load between the surfaces. The next question is, the coefficient of friction, that is mu, is given by with the usual notation, that is mu equals to FRN, then mu equals to R by F, then mu equals to 2 FRN, and fourth option mu equals to F by R. And the right option is option 4, that is mu equals to F divided by R. So in dash dynamometer, the entire or power transferred into heat. The power is transferred to heat. So first one is transmission dynamometer, torsion dynamometer, hydraulic dynamometer. Fourth option is absorption dynamometer. The right answer is option 4. In absorption dynamometer, the entire power or the power is transferred into heat. The next question is, the brakes commonly used in motor cars is first one, internal expanding brake, second option, band brakes, third one, shoe brake, and fourth one, band and block brakes. The right option is option 1, internal expanding brakes are most commonly used in the motor cars. The next question is, the shear modulus of most of the material with respect to Young's modulus is equal to half, less than half, more than half, more than the twice. And the right option is, it will be less than the half. Okay, the shear modulus of most of material with respect to Young's modulus will be less than the half. The next question is, the shear force diagram for the cantilever load is, its free end is, okay, the shear force diagram for cantilever loaded and its free end is, first one, right angle triangle, an isosceles triangle, an equilateral triangle, and fourth option, a rectangle. The right answer is option 4. The shear force diagram for cantilever loaded beam at its free end will be in a rectangular shape. The next question is, when the bending moment diagram is an inclined line between 2 points, it indicates first on uniformly distributed between those points, then point load at those points, then uniformly varying load between those points, none of the above. So the right answer is the points at those points. So when bending moment diagram is inclined between the 2 points, so it indicates that the point loads are present on those particular points. So your answer is option 2, that is point loads at those points. The next question is, the bending moment for a simply supported beam is an example where the shear force is constant, or second option, changes the sign, or it is maximum, or it is minimum. The right answer is option 2, that is changes the sign. The bending moment for simply supported beam is maximum where the shear force changes the sign. Okay. The next question is, when maximum bending moment for a cantilever or of a length L is subjected to a point load W at its free end is given by, first option, WL divided by 4, second option, WL square divided by 8, third option, WL, and fourth option, WL square divided by 12. And the right answer is option 3, that is WL. The next question is, the property of a material is restored its initial shape and dimension after the load is removed is a known as option strength, elasticity, plasticity, hardness. The right option is elasticity. Okay, best example is or elastic rubber. So when I stretch it and it will regain its original shape and size. So that property is known as elasticity. The next question is, the element of dimensioning includes, the elements of dimensioning includes first one projection lines, ladder lines, third one dimension lines, and all the above. And the right answer is option 4. So all these lines will be includes in the dimensioning. Okay. The next question is, dash scale is used for isometric view or isometric drawing. Reduced, isometric, actual, and none of the above. The right answer is option 3. The actual scale is used for isometric view or isometric drawing. Okay. And the next question is, if the straight line is parallel to HP and inclined to VP, it is its true length appears in front view, top view, profile view, both in front and top view. And the right answer is option 2, that is its a true length appears in a top view. The next question, when a line is parallel to both HP and VP, its side view is first one, a straight line parallel to XY line, a straight line perpendicular to XY line, a straight line inclined to XY line, and third option, a point. Okay, the answer is option 4, that is it is a point. When a line is parallel to both VP and HP and its side view is a point. And the last question is, a true shape the true shape of a plane surface appears in the top view when the plane is parallel to HP and the plane is parallel to VP and the plane is perpendicular to HP and none of the above. And the correct answer is the plane is parallel to HP. Okay, the true shape of a plane surface appears on a top view when plane is parallel to HP.